everyone, my name is Mario for Cost Spirit and welcome to the channel. So today I want to talk about basically it's kind of like a general thing. It's more about what's going on the whole planet. Okay, so I'm sure you guys can tell that everything is upside down right now, right? You got one man turning everything upside down. I mean, you could disagree or agree. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, in my opinion, what I think what's happening right now is for everybody to learn is for everybody to learn something. And in my opinion, what that something is for everybody to embrace their sovereignty and their freedom. Now, how do you do that? Well, first you need to grow a backbone, right? There's a lot of countries right now, there's a lot of people right now capitulating to a certain individual's whim, right? A certain individual makes a statement and stocks go flying through the roof, makes another statement, stocks go flying down. How does this make any sense? How does one person have this power to do that? I'll tell you how. Because we allow it to happen, right? How can we're like what 7 billion people on this planet, right? How can one person affect so many lives, right? The only way he can do that is that we all allow this to happen. So, in my opinion, what I'm thinking is that what the world needs to learn, right? And some of them are learning. This ain't the whole world is not learning this. Some are learning this, but a lot more need to learn it. We need to, all of the human race needs to learn this. It means you need to grow a backbone. You need to embrace your sovereignty, your freedom, and respect the sovereignty and freedoms of others around you. Either be singular or in masses as countries or cities or whatever. In my opinion, I think that is the big lesson that needs to be learned right now, and then as we learn this lesson, this will not happen anymore. There's no way that it makes any sense that one person can sit there and go, oh, so this body of water now that we've all been calling a certain name for who knows how long, right? Well, I'm just gonna change it. So it's up to me. How does this make any sense? How does that help to working together? How does that communicate in a positive, healthy fashion? It doesn't. Certain individuals in certain powers trolling other people. How does that help what's going on this planet? How does that help make things better? It doesn't help. Okay, it is simple. Embrace who you are. Embrace your relationship with God. Right, strengthen your relationship with God. Understand who He is. Understand who you are. Respect the sovereignty of everybody around you, and things will be a lot better on this planet. So, anyways, I think I'm going to leave it there. But at the end of the day, to me, really, that's what I'm looking at, because I see a lot of countries and a lot of individuals capitulating to one individual. Okay, that has to stop. You can't. I mean, people, if you're worried about money, sure, I want money, right? I don't want to not be able to pay my rent. I don't want to lose my job. But what? Am I going to sacrifice my self-respect for it? Am I going to give up my morals and values for it? Am I going to give away my relationship with the Creator, the Maker, for money? It does not make sense. There are certain things that are more important than money. And that is your relationship with your Creator, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with everybody around you, self-respect, self-honor, having a backbone, right? I mean, capitulation is never the answer, because you capitulate, even if it's a little bit, they'll come to take more and take more and take more and take more and take more. And not capitulating is not going to war, by the way. Okay? If you pick up a gun and shoot somebody, that doesn't mean you didn't capitulate, because chances are you did capitulate. You capitulated to darkness. You then used your intelligence to see maybe there was a higher way of dealing with that situation. Maybe in some situations that may have to happen, okay? But there has to be a thought process. There has to be the discernment. There has to be, you can't be just going around shooting stuff, throwing bombs everywhere without any thought, without any discernment. And at the end of the day, if we all embrace this belief system, there won't be any more guns. There won't be any more bombs. There won't be any of this fighting amongst each other, okay? At the end of the day, people will learn to get along, and they'll respect everyone's sovereignty, everyone's freedom, and there'll be peace on this planet. Because in order to ascend, this is what all this is about. It's about ascension, ascending to a higher level of consciousness. We need to embrace our freedoms, our sovereignties, and freedom that does not mean self-identifying with anything that pops in your head. Because remember, at the end of the day, if a man and a woman does not come together and make a baby, and if God does not energize that little baby with a spirit, you can't identify with anything, because you don't exist. You must exist first to have a thought, okay? So without your existence, you have no thought, okay? So freedom does not mean do whatever pops in your head. It means to discern and do what's healthy and appropriate. But anyways, we'll leave it there. We'll talk to you next time. Goodbye.